So today's video is going to be a video most of you have probably been waiting for, and that is beta weapons. Much like other Rockstar games, Bully is far from short when it comes to available weapons, but as you could probably guess, quite a few of these weapons were changed. Some of these were removed entirely from the game, others were changed quite a lot. Anyway, let's start off the video by showcasing weapons that were in the final game, but heavily changed. The BB gun you use at the carnival was originally going to be usable in free mode, but was scrapped and limited to the carnival minigame instead. It's likely this was a long-range rifle weapon, similar to the country rifle used in GTA San Andreas, or the musket in GTA 5. It was most likely removed due to the fact that it resembles an actual gun, unlike all the other weapons in the game. And having a weapon that resembles an actual gun in a game like Bully would probably have caused Bully a bit more controversy than it really should have. Now, aside from this information, it's unknown where Jimmy would have obtained this BB gun, or like how much damage it would have caused. I believe there are still animations in the game files. Well, aside from the ones you use in the carnival, obviously. The dodgeball was also going to be usable in free mode, but like the BB gun, it was also restricted to a minigame instead. Early pre-release screenshots show Jimmy Hopkins with a dodgeball outside of the gym, and it was going to be used as a weapon, as other screenshots show Jimmy Hopkins attacking a prefect with the ball. Now, I don't know why it was removed, but it's highly likely it was removed since the rubber band ball functions similar to the dodgeball, as in they both knock people down and they're both ball weapons, and having a weapon that is like the dodgeball as an unlockable weapon wouldn't make the rubber band ball worth it in my opinion. Especially since you could just like go to the gym, pick up a dodgeball and then start chucking that at people. Some people believe the flashlight was going to be used by Jimmy in a beta mission or in free mode at night time. However, the flashlight is never meant to be equipped by Jimmy. If it is equipped by Jimmy, through modding, he cannot attack anyone with it until he swaps weapons. There's nothing more to it sadly, and Jimmy was never ever supposed to use the flashlight. It seems that this specific weapon, if you can call it that, was only supposed to be used by authority figures. While the water balloons are fully accessible in the final game, you can only unlock them after doing an errand for Otto in Bullworth Town. However, in the game's text files for This Is Your School or Welcome to Bullworth, there is an unused line of text where I believe it's Gary tells Jimmy that he can fill up balloons with water any sink or fountain. This means that the water balloons were originally available from the start of the game, and not available after beating errands like they are in the final game. It's possible that this was done because new players to Bully would probably spend more time chucking water balloons at people rather than actually getting missions done. While the paddles still appear in the final game, they were originally going to be carried by the prefects rather than the preps. In a pre-release screenshot that shows Pedro, in the background we can see Seth, who is carrying a paddle. Now, it's unknown why they were removed. Some people believe that this was removed due to controversy with authority figures hitting children with, well, paddles, and others believe it was removed due to broken game mechanics. Personally, I do believe it was removed due to broken game mechanics, like you're about to see in the following clip.
Everyone to graduate and give up being a
You better run.
You just became #1.
So as you just saw in that clip, the prefect made no attempt to bust me until the paddle was actually broken. Now this is why I believe it's a broken game mechanic, because prefects are supposed to be the law enforcement of the game obviously, and if they can't bust the player, then what's the point in them being there? They're just another enemy for the player to destroy. A very short one, but in the game's files, the firecrackers are actually referred to as cherry bombs, which could mean in the beta they were just called cherry bombs rather than firecrackers. The detonator weapon is a bit of a tricky weapon to cover because some people believe it was going to be a beta weapon, others don't. The detonator weapon, in case you don't know what it is a weapon that's still used in Ernest Jones' boss fight. Specifically the second part where he just throws all that stuff at you. I don't know if Jimmy's ever going to use this weapon because I haven't found any files that confirm it or not. But it's still something to think about because if it is a beta weapon, it looks like it'd be a sort of sticky bomb style weapon. Not like your regular firecracker, but like something which you'd be able to like throw at somebody and then set it off remotely. But yeah, don't take my word for that because like I said, I didn't find any files that confirm it or not. The store Rocket in My Pocket, located in Bullworth Town, was originally going to be a weapons store where Jimmy could purchase explosive based weapons. While it's not a weapon itself, it certainly was going to be weapon based, if you know what I mean. If you want to hear more on Rocket in My Pocket, click the annotation on screen now. Now I'm going to cover weapons that were removed entirely from the game. Now some of these weapons are only in pre-release screenshots, others are still in the game's files and can be re-enabled into the game by modding. I'm going to start off by covering two weapons that were going to be available during Halloween, and these weapons will be carried by Pinky and Casey, and these weapons were a fairy wand and a devil's pitchfork. Both can still be obtained in-game by using mods, but Pinky's wand is completely untextured. Pinky's wand functions the same as spray paint. Anyone hit with it will act like they've got sprayed in the eyes, while Casey's pitchfork functions a bit like a yardstick, as the player will lunge at anybody they're attacking. The Super Spud Gun still remains in the game's files and can be modded into the game. However, it seems to be a duplicate of the actual Spud Gun, as they both share ammo and deal the same damage. The Super Spud Gun also lacks a hood icon, but aside from that it is pretty complete, as it even has its own animations. You can actually access the Super Spud Gun in-game by using the Super mod, but if you do have the Spud Gun equipped at the same time, it will drain the Spud Gun ammo as well. For example, if you equip the Super Spud Gun and you fire two bullets will also get taken at your regular Spud Gun as well. The reason for this is unknown, it's just a heads up anyway. In the game's files there's a model for a pool cue. It's unknown if this is going to be a weapon or if there's a removed pool minigame, or it could be both. It's unknown where you'd find a pool cue or if anybody would actually be holding one. But my best guess is you'd probably be able to find one in Blue Pool's Hall, as that is like a pool based area given the name and all that. While it's clearly not a weapon, the placeholder weapon for Bully is still in the game's files, and it's simply called T-Bone. If you extract the model and view it in 3ds Max or whatever, you'll see the model is just a cube, and the model has the word void written all over it. This was most likely just a placeholder test file, and was probably removed very early on in development when Rockstar started coming up with good weapon ideas. The Nerd Battle Wagon is more of a removed vehicle change, but it falls under the weapons category too, as Jimmy could have used this as a portable spud cannon. Now, unlike other removed weapons, this one was removed due to it being far too much for the PS2 to handle, and because of this was dropped entirely. Fun fact, this vehicle was going to make its debut in Defender of the Castle, where Jimmy would use this against the jocks, but the entire mission was changed because, well, like I did say, the PS2 couldn't handle it. Rockstar developer Andrew Wood confirmed this himself, back in January 2010. Judging from Andrew's remarks, it seems that Jimmy would have unlocked this vehicle after beating the mission. This actually makes you wonder what other mission changes there were in Bully due to PS2 limitations. Originally, the prefects were going to have batons, as seen in very early screenshots, but this was removed, at least for the prefects, in favour of paddles, which were also removed from the prefects. It's likely the batons were still going to be used by the police before they were removed entirely. However, despite being completely removed from the game, the only remains of the baton is the animation file. If you open up World Image and search for baton, you'll get one file which is simply called baton.agr, and that's all that remains of the baton. In the World Image there is a file called Super Marble. Now I don't know what this actually does, but if you extract the model and view it in 3ds Max, you'll see it just seems to be a circular weapon. Now my best guess, because it's called Super Marble, I'm going to assume it's going to be like the marbles but with a much larger splash radius, and possibly last a lot longer than the original marbles do. But of course there's nothing to really prove this, because I don't think you can even mod this into the game. And the last weapon I'm going to showcase that was removed entirely from the game is, well, a voice changer. Now I know that sounds a bit unbelievable, but in hoodelems.nft, the file which keeps track of all the hood textures used in Bully, actually has an icon for a voice changer. It seems highly likely that this was going to be a mission based weapon. Obviously this is all that remains of the voice changer. If I had to guess, I'd say the voice changer seems like something that'd be used in a Chapter 4 mission, as voice changers seem like something the nerds would use. That's it for this video, and thank you for watching.